Inside the Nation Overtime, the debut episode of Overtime. My name is Eric Thoreau, and this is going to be our debut episode of a new off-season program that we're launching here at Ninth Man Nation. And we're going to be talking to players of current, past, coaches current, past, and just anything just to keep the conversation going about the Arena Football League. We'll also have, just general conversations between my sole team insider, Eric Williamson, back there in Philadelphia, who covered the Philadelphia Soul all season, and also to their trip to the Arena Bowl, which I think his contributions to Ninth Man Nation this season, and we're going to go forward with it. And also, if you're interested in covering the team, Columbus Destroyers, Atlantic City Blackjacks, Baltimore Brigade, Washington Valor, and the soon-to-be 4 expansion teams, go ahead and hit me up at Ninth Man Nation and ninthmannation.net and hit our contact form, and we're more than welcome to have you to be a contributor to the staff. But in the meantime, as you're probably wondering who this gentleman is next to us, he's one of the Cats I was sort of tweeting about, but he's the Cat with the K, so it means he played in Nashville. His name is Reggie Stephens. So welcome to the show, our debut show of Inside the Nation Overtime.
Thank you for having me.
So basically, just to give you a little background, I know you've been following us on social media a little bit, especially on my personal side stuff when I share Ninth Man Nation stuff. But Inside the Nation is just basically a general conversation that we like to share experiences and how people get involved in the league and what people can enjoy and why the league is such a great sport and aspect as far as for the off season from the outside game compared to the inside game. So he played DB for the Nashville Cats, had the likelihood to play for the owner of the Tennessee Titans. What's his name? Bud Adams, and then also Tim McGraw.
He was a minority owner.
Yeah, he was a minority owner, but he's still part of the owner, and he made his top hat, his cowboy hat appearance.
Oh, yeah.
So
definitely did.
So that was another musician involved in the league back before it shut down in 2009. So anyway, so just go ahead and starting from your days of early on in 2005 when you played for the Cats, how did you first get involved with the Arena Football League, or how did you hear about it first?
The funny thing is about the Arena League, I was playing with the Giants when I was playing with the Giants right there in 2004. Before that, I signed with the Los Angeles Avengers.
Okay.
So then, when I didn't go play for the Los Angeles Avengers, I ended up going to sign with the Denver Broncos.
Okay.
So when that didn't work out, the Avengers had my rights, and then when the Nashville Cats came in as an expansion team, I was thrown into the draft.
Okay.
And at that time, I thought I was going to be a SaberCat, but I guess somehow I ended up being a Nashville Cat. Didn't have no clue of any of the history of the Nashville Cats, but once I saw that Tim McGraw was a minority owner into the team, I kind of said, okay, I figured out a different angle, because at the same time, I was also a music producer, and I said, hey, I'll go to Nashville and play football, and then I'll try the music thing out as well. So it seemed to work out for me, so it was a great opportunity to go to Nashville.
Yeah. So like he mentioned the thought of possibly going up north from LA to the San Jose SaberCats, and that's not the real reason why we met and we got hooked up here. Well, it kind of is in a way, in not in a roundabout way that.
Right.
One of your head coaches here at we're now Cabrillo will announce the Cabrillo thing that he's wearing, and he's all good thing for the plug for that too. It's a good opportunity for that. But the head coach here at Cabrillo College, where I work and help out with their social media and their live streams, is Darren Arbett, the former head coach and part owner of the San Jose SaberCats until 2015. He's now the head coach here at Cabrillo College, and this is his 3rd year. And he brought on board Reggie Stephens to help out with the team, and helping out he has been. So we'll touch base with that in a little bit. But going into now playing with the Nashville Cats, and you're suiting up in the Tennessee Titan blue.
Yes.
Which kind of matches what you're wearing today with Cabrillo blue.
Yes. It seems like I've always worn blue.
I just realized I was watching a video highlights that I put on Instagram from Nashville playing Grand Rapids in the Arena Bowl. Yeah. A few years ago, and I was like, oh, wait a second, it's a coincidence that their jersey colors were matching the Tennessee Titans. Mm-hmm. So, and Bud Adams kept it, which is cool. It all goes on like the way Pittsburgh does it with black and yellow.
Yes.
So, but going into now, touching the field in Nashville, playing in their arena, what was it like playing for them?
Playing for Nashville was awesome. I mean, you had to love the country music, the flavor, the atmosphere. I mean, the crowd, they would come and they would support the players. That's one thing I would say about being in Nashville. I mean, you had a lot of support, with the fan base. the players, it meant something to them, and that's what I felt when I went there. Like I had no clue of the tradition there in Nashville, but when I got there, they welcomed me with open arms, and it was a tight-knit community. So I loved playing there. I hated that they folded. Not sure if they're going to come back, but that's a great place to play football in general. Whether it's NFL or arena football, I mean, it's just the fan base there is amazing.
Yeah, I think the Nashville Cats, as per se, is has been trademarked. It's been ownership by the NAL, an indoor league that started up a couple years ago. Okay. They went to try to grab it to try to start taking some of the AFL stuff, but there is hypes to bring it back a team to Nashville eventually, because they, the new motto of the AFL is to go to great, strong football communities, and Nashville is a target demographic eventually to get back to Nashville. Let's just say, so you played for Nashville. How was it, the fan base there? I know you talked about the history and it was a great experience, but how did the team reach out to the fans and communicate with fans, whether it be during game days or off games?
I mean, we had game days. I mean, after practice. I mean, it just seemed like wherever we went, if we went out to eat somewhere, if we went out to a club, it just seemed like, everywhere you went, you had the fan base would be there to support you. So, and then I played with some good guys there, like James Barron. He owned the club, and Corey Fleming. I mean, Doghead. I mean, I can name a bunch of guys. And it just seemed like them coming back when they brought the Nashville Cats back. That's what the fans, they were excited to see some of the old players. So I had to learn that very early when I got there, especially in my first year.
Yeah,
so it was pretty awesome.
Yeah. So coming in, I got a Cabrillo guy coming in here. So basically, going forward, so you had basically 2 seasons with the Cats?
Yeah, I played 2 seasons there. I hurt my knee 2006, and that was basically, I tore my LCL, and that was pretty much it. After that, I retired, and I went heavy into music after that. But I got my opportunity in music by going to Nashville and playing for the Nashville Cats.
Yeah, and going forward now, you're here. Going forward many years now, he's here at Cabrillo College. As you can see, he's He's just fresh off of a win. Congratulations on today's win.
Thank you so much.
Score-wise, it was dominating, but it was a tougher game than it seems by score-wise. But going forward, Cabrillo College is a stepping stone in your career. You mentioned football, but I want to get to something that I could tell you're really close space niche on, and that's the Reggie Stephens Foundation. I want to bring that up. I know I didn't probably bring that up. I was going to mention that to you, but I want to play. How can your experiences, whether it be with the Cats or the Avengers or the Giants, and also when you went to Rutgers University, that's where he went to school, is Rutgers, and how did that all experience bring you out to help out with Reggie Stephens Foundation?
I mean, there would be no Reggie Stephens Foundation if I didn't play football and go through a bunch of different coaches from high school to junior college to college. So everywhere I went, from all of my coaches that were my head coaches, from Terry Shea to Coach Steve Cox, Ron Mahiron, even to now coaching with Darren Arbette. I mean, I've learned so much through the process, and then in fact, me going to junior college was the biggest thing, because I learned so much at the junior college level. So when I wanted to start the foundation to help out kids in Santa Cruz County, and then also come back here and coach, all my experiences is what the Reggie Stephens Foundation is. It stands for Sports, Art, and Education. Seek, Believe, Achieve. And I am the only person that I can use as an example of the way I got it, and that means it's like hard work, dedication, having my ambition, setting goals, and that's the same thing I preach to the kids that are around me, from males to females, and even guys that come back from college that want to work out. Like a guy I had, Jonah Hodges. I try to prep him to get to the NFL. He's now playing in Japan now. But some kids I wouldn't say a liking to, but if they reach out to me and say, hey, can you train me? I train them for free. I don't charge any kid for any of that, and I just try to give them what I got and some of the coaches that helped me out. So that's what the Reggie Stephens Foundation stands for, and it's probably been the best thing for me, because it's the best way I can give back to this community and all the student athletes that I come around.
Yeah. If you want a little bit more information besides that, which is probably pretty detailed, or see him and his foundation in action on IG, just go to Reggie Stephens Foundation. That's his handle. So basically, all to that, how about the music industry? You touched base. So how is reaching out with Tim McGraw and all that? And Nashville, that's Music City.
Yeah, that was one of the, like I said, I was selected in a draft basically to go to Nashville. So once I saw that, I was like, well, I knew nothing about. I knew that it was country music. It was big on that situation. But once I saw that Tim McGraw was a minority owner there, I wanted to make it a fact that I get a chance to sit down with this guy. And I didn't ask him for a favor. I just said, hey, can you turn me on to some people that maybe can take a listen to my music? And those people were the Warren brothers. They were country writers. They wrote for Tim McGraw, Faith Hill. And then they couldn't do anything with the music, so then they turned me on to a guy named David Huff. And the funny thing about the guy David Huff, his brother Dan Huff, he was a guitar player for Bon Jovi.
Yeah.
Big time guys.
You gotta bring Bon Jovi. That hurts my heart with Bon Jovi and after 2008. Oh.
Yeah. So and then David Huff ended up signing me in 2007, believe it or not, and that's how that relationship, and that's how now I go back to Nashville pretty much in the off season of after this season's over. I usually go back and forth, and I still make music with David Huff, and that all started through football. If I don't take that leap of faith and go to Nashville, I don't have that connection. I don't have that record deal in 2007. So, and I know some people say, how do you balance football and music? The days of when football was very hard on me, frustration. That was my outlet, was to go and be in the studio and write music. But it's also a passion of mine that I've had ever since I was 13 years old. So it's just one of those things that I've been able to balance throughout my whole career and my life. But it also keeps me focused and keep me doing the right thing. And it's just an outlet. I think every athlete should have some other outlet besides just sports. Because it's you gotta get as much out of this life that you can. While we're still here, and that's what I do every day.
Yeah, and it's pretty. I look for his social media from afar and all that stuff, because he's down in Santa Cruz. I'm up in San Jose for an hour, but it's an easy time drive. But the way things are with the roads, it's very difficult for us to meet up with each other. But anyway, so if you're a college student, you happen to be watching this, because I thought all this is for the fans. But if you're in the college students and you're wanting to be drafted into the big boy game, NFL, and that's the only way you're looking. Maybe secondary, you're looking for CFL and the so-called XFL that may or may not be true. We don't know, because it failed before. It may last a little bit longer than the AAF, but don't count on it. But AFL has been here for 32 years. It's going on its 33rd season, so it has longevity. Even though it's been up and down, as far as for the number of teams, it is an outlet. And that's all he played in it after coming from the NFL, the outdoor game. And trust me, I've met. During my days of being a fan of the San Jose SaberCats, I met plenty of NFL players that came down and played in the AFL, and they knew it was a different game, and they weren't as conditioned as they were without game. Because one thing, you have the defender that never loses, the wall.
The wall.
Yeah. Did you ever experience that?
Yeah, I ran into the wall plenty of times. I ran people into the wall as well. I mean, I can definitely remember playing against.
Okay, I got this. When I launched actually the audio version of the show, Inside the NationL, it was just a podcast only. Remember interviewing a former SaberCat. I don't know if you remember him, James Hunden.
James Hunden was my guy.
Okay.
Hard work.
I don't know if he directly said that, but I think he came out and said some of the times during when you guys are on the field during warm-ups, you guys scout where fans are sitting for particular items they may be carrying down with them, and that's the food.
Yeah.
And then if you see the fans with good food in the first row or two, you want to make sure that you make a play in that area so you can make a little snack during the game. Did you ever do that?
I never did that, you know what I mean? But
I've seen players that have?
Yeah, I've seen some guys do some things like that. And, arena football was definitely, for me coming down from the NFL to arena football, it was my first year was like, whoa, everything was moving so much faster.
Yeah. And
then second year kind of slowed down. But, like I said, I had a lot of fun playing. It was definitely different, though. The angles of the game, the plays, the different positions. I played DS, so
defensive specialist.
That was very watching the receiver move off his spot, and then he can come at you full speed.
The OS.
Physical game. But like I said, I had a great time playing arena football.
Do you still currently follow the league?
No, I don't follow them as much. Honestly, when Nashville went away, that's kind of like I kind of went away, and then with San Jose, because those were like two teams that I was like, because I went to all of the San Jose games, even when I was a New York Giant. I was really close to the San Jose SaberCats. I trained there in the off season, and I was close to Darren. I've been knowing Darren ever since I came out of college in 1999. Coach Malley, he was a guy that wanted to sign me straight out of college to the SaberCats. So I knew a lot of the guys on the team already. So when we played against each other, I was calling them by their names out there. So it was pretty cool, man. So And it's like, and that, I don't know, for some reason it seemed like Nashville and San Jose always had a nice little rivalry thing going on.
Especially offside speaking of the players going to the dance team. We had the Saber Kittens.
Oh,
we had the
Kittens. Yeah.
And you had the Kittens.
Yeah.
And everybody was coming on saying, wait, where's this copycat team from Nashville coming from?
Yeah. It was a lot of different things going on like that. But you had that guy drive out on that motorcycle though. That was pretty cool. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they also did that with the guy named Fang in Arizona too. Yeah. The game day operations guy. Yeah, so basically, that's it. As you can see, he's pretty well off. He's successful. He's got a good foundation. He's establishing his music career presence, and he's doing the business side of things. As me being in the music industry, I know it pays more to be on the business side of things of music and the production, because especially with royalties, with publishing and all that, and then just being a recording artist, putting your voice on digital tape, and performing on recording. And that's it. You don't get the money as you.
Sports and music go hand in hand, though.
Yeah. Well, yeah, you can tell that you let a lot of players, they use the music in the stadium to get pumped up and get their adrenaline going, so they get going and make an aggressive attack. Otherwise, if you're just sitting like lazy, you're not going to want to have energy going out of the library of football.
Nashville was a lot of country music, though.
Yeah.
A lot of it.
So, so basically, I want to thank Reggie for coming on briefly. As you can tell, he's Cabrillo Seahawks. So if you want to check him out, and if you're in the Santa Cruz area or San Jose area, and you want to check him out and say hi if you're here. Former SaberCat fans that are watching this, Cabrillo College is where it's at. You can also meet up with Darren Arbette. He's here too, of course.
Yes.
So come on down and be part of the 12th man down here in Cabrillo and Aptos. And next home game is October 5th. Against, I think it was Reedley. Yeah, next week is Hartnell and Salinas.
Yeah,
so
on the road.
Yeah, but anyway, so just make a point of it. If you're going to college and you want the NFL droughts, don't hang your head and lose out. There's always the Arena Football League, and it opens up just as many doors as the NFL can. It'll be probably a little bit easier because you're also diversifying yourself during the season, since you don't get that much money. As far as for the paycheck is not as high. It's getting higher slowly but surely, but it's there, and there's opportunities there because you reach out with businessmen there.
Right.
So just keep an eye on the Arena Football. Great experience from Reggie. Yeah. Great experience for you when you come out there.
Exactly.
So we want to thank Reggie.
Thank you.
Coming on, and we'll see you on the next edition of Inside the Nation Overtime.